Hi, welcome back to Yoga with Tim. I'm Tim, and today we're going to do a pranayama practice. So pranayama is a really important part of your yoga practice. It should start to become a separate practice that you do in addition to your physical practice. Lately, pranayama techniques have become more popularized, and certain techniques like in the Wim Hof method, or I've heard some podcast people talking about box breathing. These are kind of like these trendy types of pranayams because they elicit a response in the body that is measurable. Now, this is nothing new for yoga. People have always been attracted to different techniques that you could practice that elicited a response that was extraordinary. So, for example, there's stories of B.K.S. Iyengar's guru being able to actually stop his heart from beating. And scientists were freaked out by this and went, oh my gosh, yogis can actually stop their hearts. This is amazing. Let's see if this yogi can actually do it. So people have always been impressed by fantastical feats. Pranayama is really the science of moving away from the polarities in life and going inward to be one with the inner seer. So that is really the main goal of pranayama. Now, there are these amazing things that can happen with these different pranayama techniques. Like they can help to quiet your mind and improve your focus. So that'd be really good for people in business to be able to be very focused in their work, for sure. And then in the Wim Hof method, he teaches how to experience through pranayama resistance to cold so that your nervous system doesn't react as much to the cold. So these really more flashy techniques to give you these responses that can help you in your day-to-day experiences. So I'm going to show you one of these techniques, which is the box breathing. In yoga, we call that samvriti pranayama. So this pranayama is important for increasing your lung capacity, but also it's important for starting to focus your mind, as I mentioned earlier. So we're going to use this box breathing. It'll calm you down, it will focus your mind. Let's give it a shot. Let me just explain the breathing first. Why is it called box breathing? Because it's like a four-sided breath. So the in-breath is a certain amount of length. The retention, where you hold the breath, is the same amount of length. Then you exhale, again, same amount of length. We'll just say 6 counts. And then you hold the breath for 6 counts. Then breathe in for 6 counts. Hold the breath at the top of the in breath for 6 counts. Breathe out for 6 counts. Hold the breath at the bottom for 6 counts. You get the idea, a box of breathing. Now, this is a slightly more advanced technique from what I would teach a beginner. What I would teach a beginner is just the retention on the inhalation and no retention, so like a triangle breath, I guess. No retention on the exhalation. So we're gonna learn that first. We're gonna try the triangle breath, samvriti pranayama for beginners, and then I'm gonna leave it up to you. After you practice this for about a week, then you might start to incorporate the retention on the exhalation. Okay, so let's get started. We'll sit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna recommend that we lie down. The cushion is gonna be like a more advanced technique to practice it upright. So we'll start lying down. We'll start with the sound just to relax the body and dive in. So as your physical body starts to relax, take your awareness deeper inward. Really important when you practice pranayama is that the breath should be pleasant. So if any time the technique that I'm describing starts to stress you out or strain your nerves, then you're just doing too much. And there's a tendency when we practice pranayama to do too much too quick. So I want you to keep everything measure it against this relaxed sensation that you feel in your body right now. And without straining your nerves, take a slow, steady breath in through your nose. Breathe down towards your belly, side ribs, side chest. Pause at the top and slowly let the air out. Again, breathe down towards your belly. Feel the side ribs expand. Sides of the chest. And slowly breathe out. Pretend like you're trying to draw the breath all the way down towards the bottom of the lungs. Each time you breathe in, keep drawing it down. Little pause at the top. And slowly let the air out. So just kind of warming up the lungs. Notice if you strained at all. Where the strain is, relax, let go. So you want to feel like you can dwell deep inside your inner temple. You're not being pulled up to the surface. Okay, now we're going to incorporate the Ujjayi breath while we practice this. So as you breathe in through your nose, pause at the top. Then make a sound with your mouth open like you're fogging a mirror. See if you can make that noise as you breathe in, but with your mouth closed. And as you breathe out, but with your mouth closed, slight constriction in the back of your throat. Breathe in. Pause at the top. Keep the nerves totally calm. Soften the palate. Breathe out. Breathe in. Pause at the top. Breathe out. Breathe in for 6. Pause for 6. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in for 6. Pause for 6. Breathe out. Hold for 4. And go back to normal breathing. And then at the end of your pranayama practice, practice being still without controlling the breath. Let yourself sink deeper inward. Let your consciousness melt into the body, feeling the flow of energy in your body. You might notice that you feel very alive in your body. It's almost like an energy that could exist even if the body were to pass away. You could feel that there's an energy that you're connected to. And this is the main reason why we're practicing pranayama. Bring yourself back up to the surface. Roll over to your side and press up. So as you sit up straight, you might notice that you feel calmer, you feel more energized. So those are all great benefits, but it's important that you're aware of your primary purpose, the original objective for practicing the breathing technique. And hopefully you felt more connected to that at the end of the practice. So I just want to encourage you to start off really easy with this. There can be the tendency, if you're a real go-getter and you jam in everything you do, to try to I'm going to take deep breaths and more, and it's not more is better. In fact, less is more with the pranayama. So even if the 6 count that I did was too much for you, you feel yourself shaking, straining, start off slower, work on the retention at the top of the inhalation and making it sound very smooth. The sound of the ujjayi breath, it should be very smooth, not sputtery. And then eventually, as you start to feel more comfortable with this, see if you can incorporate the retention at the end of the exhalation. Hey, if you have any questions about any of this, it might have been confusing. If pranayama is new to you, ask below and I'll make sure to get to it. If you have any requests for future pranayama videos, I'd like to hear about it. And also, if you found this helpful, please hit the like button, the thumbs up. Is it a thumbs up or a like? I'm not sure anymore. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. And that's one of the best ways to support Yoga with Tim is just by clicking subscribe. I know you probably watch a lot of videos on YouTube and don't subscribe. So please make this one that you do. Have a great day and I'll see you next time.